Hey guys, and welcome back. Usually when I go and see a car, whether it's a sale or a barn find, I tend to do the introduction when I'm driving, but as you can see, I've got the top down today as it's beautiful weather, and you probably wouldn't hear me if I did it while I was driving, so I'm going to do my little intro now. So a chap I've known for a few years who ran a patent business in Sweden, had a lot of connections with Saab and is a Saab enthusiast himself, but he told me about his ex-wife who is presently living in the countryside and has collected a few Saabs over the years, and in the past has struggled to part with them, which we could all relate to, but recently decided to sell off maybe one or two. So she has sold one recently, but she has 4 or 5 left, which I'm going to go and look at today, and hopefully maybe buy one or two, depending on the condition. I don't know anything about them. I don't know year or specific models or 5-door or 4-door, hatchback or saloon, but it'll be a nice surprise. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm glad you're going to be there with me. So yeah, welcome back to the Classic Saab Guy. So after some very boring miles on the motorway, I soon came onto some of the smaller roads and got to see a little bit more of rural Sweden. And as I went on, it became more and more rural. Lots of nice fields and trees I passed. Even at one point, this Volkswagen Beetle having its wheel changed was quite fun. But yeah, it went on for a while. But the scenery here, the Swedish countryside, is just really, really pretty.
The destination is on your right.
And it was clear I was in the right place. Then I got to meet the lovely Sophia, who I met through a friend a few years ago and have helped out a few times with some technical problems and IT issues. She invited me to have a look around her lovely property. She lives on this lovely piece of land, grows her own vegetables and some berries and things, and makes her own cheese and stuff like that. Yeah, we went down to this barn where she was going to show me what she had hidden in there. So the first barn, I opened the door and there was a 1993 Saab 900 16 valve. It does look a bit dirty, but that's just because it hasn't been covered. It's actually in very good condition. The interior was very, very clean. The seats were amazing. There's no cracks on the plastic. The roof lining hadn't dropped. So yeah, it was a really, really good example, and probably just needed a bit of TLC. In the next one, again, a 1992 red 916 valve 5-door, again in very good condition. Like I said, just dusty, and there was a tiny bit of rust. Thank you, Sophia, for letting me stay here and have a look at your wonderful Saab collection. And I thought it might be just really nice for some of the viewers to just know a little bit about you and why you've come to own some Saabs and why you love Saab.
It's the sound when you hear it, when it's coming on the road. It's the smell when you go into it. Design.
Design?
Yeah, very much the design. I think it's perfect as a car.
I don't disagree.
I know, that's why you're here. It's the feeling of driving it. When I sit down, I became one piece with the car.
Yeah, I've heard that before. People say they feel at one with the car when they drive it, especially in the Saab 900.
Yeah, and especially in the winter.
Yeah, front wheel drive and snow. Yeah, it's good. You said that you had a trip around Europe in the 900.
In 900, and when was it? It was we were started driving through East Germany.
Okay, with all the family.
Yes.
5 of you.
Yes. And we had that kind of rule. We didn't want anything on top of the car.
Yeah.
Or at the back behind you when you
the parcel shelf. Yeah.
Perhaps the swimming things, but nothing else.
Oh,
okay. We didn't want to look like tourists.
Okay, but you filled the trunk up at the back, yeah. Okay, so you just look like a normal family driving out for the day rather than travelling around Europe. Yeah. And that was all you took? You didn't have to take a caravan? You had everything in the back of the Saab?
Yes.
And there was another thing you talked about yesterday when you said that you actually started driving a car when you were 9 years old.
It was my grandfather's He gave me the key. I think he gave me some information, but
just mostly the key, and you just got in and drove.
yeah, I think, yeah.
A 9-year-old. That's pretty impressive.
Over here, potatoes! Crying out loud, there's a kid driving the car!
Here, I think it was a kind of rehab.
Oh, rehabilitation.
Yeah, because I had polio.
Oh, polio, okay.
So he kind of helping me to start using my legs in a funny way.
Okay, so he got you to drive to do that. Okay, that's interesting. And I think you said one of the first Saabs you owned was a Saab 95.
Yes.
Yeah.
A blue.
A blue one. That's the combi version of, yeah. Those were, I see a lot of those were advertised of families sitting in the back having picnics. And
you could sit backs turning
the seats round, and laid, they could, I saw that. So after a chat with Sophia and some lunch, it was time to see if I could actually get any of these cars started. So I checked the fluids and, checked the oil, the coolant. I checked that the crank would turn so that nothing was seized. Decided to crank them over and see if we can get them started. And as you can hear, started very well. There is some exhaust issues, I think. There's like an exhaust leak, you can hear that. And perhaps the oil needs time to circulate because there is a bit of ticking here and there. But generally, it's a good sign that it started first time, and everything's going well. It didn't overheat or anything. I let it run for a while. Like you can see here, the dashboard, really, really nice. And the ceiling, again, hasn't dropped. So a really good example, which if I gave a bit of TLC, could be a really, really nice 900. So yeah, the white one, the 1993, again, I wanted to see if this one, like I said earlier on, the interior and everything was just really, really good. And again, I wanted to crank this one over, and yes, it started again. Same thing, probably need some oil to circulate because those lifters need to be, the hydraulic tappets, they need to get some oil circulated to stop tapping if the car's been sitting for a long time. So yeah, I decided to see if the brakes seized on, so I took the white one out of the barn and it rolled straight away, even though it's been sitting here for 2 or 3 years. But then it was time to go and have a look at the 900S, which again looks poor because of the dust and dirt that's sitting on it, but it was actually in a very good condition. Seats were good, no cracks on the dashboard. Headlining was really good, so I thought it was time to do the same thing with this. And again, it started very well, but does have a very bad exhaust. There is a bad problem with the muffler, so that will need to be changed, but it ran well, so no problem there. Now, with the 2.1, the head gasket actually gone on this one, so I couldn't crank it over. But again, it was in good condition, so that's just another one that I'm going to look at some point and see if we can get running once I've done that head gasket. So then I got to have a lovely restful evening. Sophia made some lovely food that we sat down and ate while looking at the beautiful scenery. And then I went off to bed and stayed in her lovely guest house. Hi guys, so it's Sunday morning. I actually stayed over because Sophia had a guest house, and because we had lots to talk about and there was a lot of things to discuss in terms of how I was going to help her out with her cars, or whether I was going to buy them or restore one or whatever, she offered me her guest house and said in the morning I could go and check out her barn, which had a lot of Saab parts in it, and she said, let me see if there's anything you want that we could also include. And so there is stuff that I want. I mean, look at this. A room full of alloy rims. Every style and type for the 900 and 9000 are in here, and probably for the 99 and 90 as well. There's this, you can't really see all of it. I mean, there's these directional arrows, there's normal arrow, there's these lovely spoke ones there. There's stuff around the back as well. It's hard to see.
Most outstanding. Most outstanding. Most unusual. The most unprecedented. Excellent!
Just here is the ones that I have on my turbo, but outside I found 2 sets of 16-inch Super Aeros. 2 sets.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
So this is pretty exciting. I couldn't sleep last night because I am like a kid in a candy store right now. This is amazing. I won't tell anyone where you live. You'll have loads of Saab people turning up. Thank you so much, Sophia, for just having a little chat and finding lots of Saab treats. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for coming.